Coach Jillian's, it was her scout, and she said, I can't believe our home rims betrayed us today. It felt like we couldn't get a bucket to fall, but I was really happy with the way that we continued to defend and were relentless on the defensive end and really were able to get some big stops and drew some charges down the stretch. And I think that really ignited our offense in the fourth quarter, obviously led by Olivia and Jordan, but Sai had a big bucket and Mila had a big bucket as well. So sometimes you're not going to make shots, but when you can figure out a way to win when you're not making shots, it's a great win. We'll take it.
What do you think changed for you guys going to that fourth quarter that triggered the offensive explosion?
It was the same as the first quarter. We talked a lot about when we were able to get stops and get out in transition. We scored 20 points in the first quarter as well. I think that helped us when we got stops. I think also those charges kind of ignited our fans. It got the crowd going. And then we ran some specific plays for Liv, for Sila, for Jordan, which they were able to score on. So I think those things really helped.
When you have such a young and new team, do you have to tell them this is what the Big Ten season looks like?
Yeah, I tried to tell them before, but I don't know if they believed me until today. And in the locker room too, some of our older kids said after, like, welcome to the Big Ten. In every single game, and especially, the Northwestern coach has been there for a period of time. I've been here for a period of time. We know each other's teams. We know each other's style of play. What people are going to do, their tendencies. So I think those matchups are challenging, and our kids got an opportunity to see that today.
Sometimes when the shots aren't falling, then it can affect you on the other end of the floor.
Yes. No, it did for a period, and that's kind of what we emphasized and we really talked about is, like, lock into your defensive assignments. That's also why we got up in the second half and just tried to pick up full court to change the tempo of the game. We tried to run two people at them sometimes. I thought Brooke Daniels gave us some really good minutes of igniting, like, some fire on the defensive end to try to generate not sitting back and, like, being picked apart on the defensive end when things aren't going well offensively, especially for a young team. And I think, that kind of happened towards the tail end of the second quarter when we were up 10 and they came back before halftime.
Just 8 points in the third quarter. Were you expecting more of, like, an offensive reinvigoration?
I would have liked more in the second and the third. I think, we got tight. I think we're new in a lot of these positions. We got decent looks. I said to them after the game, I was happy with the fact that as much as we missed 5 possessions in a row or 6 possessions in a row, we weren't allowing them to score, because if we allowed them to score during those stretches where we were having a drought, we would have had to come back from a larger deficit than 4 points. So the fact that we were defending at that same time was good for us. I wasn't, obviously we're not pleased with, like, our offense. We'll be back at practice. But we miss shots too that we typically make.
Getting Alyssa Crockett back, are you working her in slowly, and what do you expect her role could be this year?
Yeah, I think she's an awesome kid and an awesome player, but she's missed 42 practices, and it's even the same is true with Tayala Delfos, and you guys see, like, a spurt from her too. I think they're both phenomenal players that are really going to help us moving forward. I think sometimes in Alyssa or Tayala's mind or the outside world, it's like, okay, they're going to be the same as the people that practice for 42 times. And it takes a little bit of time. But Crockett is they both are in there. They're relentless. They're going to provide us some depth, some much needed depth that we didn't have prior to them going out. But it's going to take them a minute to get their chemistry back, to get their chemistry with the team, to get their feel back. And it was nice to get her in there today. She had a fan base. People were going crazy. People made signs because she's awesome. But I think she is another person similar to Jordan who can really face up, can really knock down open shots, can knock down the three. She's hard matchup defensively. She's really long. She can affect the game on the defensive end, and she can really score the basketball. So she's definitely going to add depth to our current roster, and I'm happy that she's working back in.
Also had 8 points in the fourth quarter, had 2, like, those crucial charges. Just talk about what's it like watching her sort of go to work.
Oh, Olivia? She was awesome. I think, Liv is like a phenomenal player. And the way, Sila's a phenomenal player and Mila's a phenomenal player. And so on any given night, any one of those freshmen can step up. And I think she's just becoming more and more comfortable in understanding her role. And she knew what we needed her to do. And her willingness to step in and take those 2 charges and make plays for us. I mean, she had a single-handed run there of I don't know how many points it was, but even affecting the game on the defensive end. So I think she's becoming more and more comfortable. She had 9 fouls drawn. The last time I saw a number like that was Naz Hillman. I mean, that's like really, really, really impressive.